Before this video ends, you'll discover whether you would become a legendary Viking or disappear into history before anyone even remembered your name. Your story begins more than 1,000 years ago, where every child is born into a world that rewards only the strong. You are born into a humble Viking family, where survival matters far more than comfort. There are no doctors waiting to help you, no medicine to save you, only your family's determination and a little luck. Outside, winter shows no mercy. Freezing winds, deep snow, and hunger threaten every family in the village. Many babies never survive their very first winter, and no one knows if you will be one of them. Day after day, your family works tirelessly to keep you warm, fed, and alive. Weeks become months, and little by little, your tiny body grows stronger. Then, one morning, the endless snow begins to melt. Spring has finally arrived. Without even realizing it, you have already won your very first battle, the battle to survive. One day, people may remember you as a fearless Viking, but for now, you are simply a child taking your first steps into an unforgiving world. But childhood never lasts forever, because very soon, life will begin teaching you the harsh lessons that every Viking must learn. By the age of 5, your childhood looks nothing like the childhood of today. Every new day is another lesson in survival. There are no schools, no books, and no classrooms. Your parents teach you everything you need to survive. Your father teaches you how to recognize animal tracks, read the weather, and respect the unforgiving wilderness. Your mother teaches you that every piece of food is precious, because one wasted meal could mean hunger tomorrow. Soon, simple chores become part of your everyday life. Carrying water, gathering firewood, and feeding the animals are now your responsibility. Even your games prepare you for the future. Every laugh hides an important lesson. As the sun sets, your family gathers around the fire, while the village elder tells stories of Odin, Thor, and fearless explorers who sailed beyond the horizon. Every story fills your imagination with dreams of becoming a great Viking one day. But dreams alone are never enough. Every Viking must earn their place through hard work and courage. With every passing season, you become stronger, wiser, and more confident than ever before. Soon, your peaceful childhood will come to an end, and your real training will finally begin. Tomorrow, you will no longer be treated like a child, because the path to becoming a true Viking is about to begin. At the age of 12, your childhood officially ends. From this day forward, your village expects you to think, work, and live like an adult. Your mornings begin before sunrise, because every day brings new responsibilities that cannot be ignored. An experienced warrior places your very first real sword into your hands. It feels heavier than you ever imagined. Day after day, you train with swords, shields, spears, and bows until your muscles ache. Strength alone is never enough. You must also learn discipline, patience, and loyalty to your people. When training ends, your work is far from over. You help repair boats, sharpen tools, and prepare for the next fishing season. One evening, a fleet of longships returns from a distant journey, bringing silver, rare goods, and incredible stories. For the first time in your life, you realize the world is far bigger than your small village. From that moment on, you dream of earning your place aboard one of those legendary ships. You continue training through rain, snow, and freezing winds, knowing that weakness has no place in the Viking world. Finally, after years of proving yourself, the village chief makes a life-changing decision. Tomorrow, you will take your first step into the unknown, because your name has been chosen for the next Viking expedition. At 16 years old, the day you've dreamed about finally arrives. You have been chosen to join your very first Viking expedition. Before sunrise, your family gathers at the harbor to say goodbye. No one knows if this will be your last meeting. The sails rise, the oars strike the water, and your village slowly disappears behind the morning mist. For days, you sail across the freezing sea. Endless water surrounds you in every direction. Then, without warning, the calm sea turns into a nightmare. A violent storm crashes into your ship. Every wave feels strong enough to pull you into the freezing ocean forever. After surviving the storm, land finally appears on the horizon, but new dangers are waiting there. Some villages welcome your crew with peaceful trade, exchanging silver, furs, and valuable goods. Others prepare for battle the moment they see your ships. For the first time in your life, you truly understand how dangerous the Viking world can be. Weeks later, your ship finally begins the long journey home. You carry more than treasure. You carry experience. As your village comes into view, your family rushes to welcome you home. They see someone very different from the boy who left. Your first voyage is over, but the greatest adventure of your life is only beginning. Years pass, and you are no longer the young Viking who dreamed of adventure. You have become a respected member of your village. You marry, build your own home, and begin a new chapter filled with responsibility instead of adventure. Every morning begins before sunrise. Your family depends on the work you do today. Some days you farm the land. Other days you fish the cold waters or trade with neighboring villages. Not every Viking spends life in battle. Most people simply work hard to keep their families alive. Soon, your own children are born, and you begin teaching them the same lessons your parents once taught you. As winter returns each year, preparing enough food becomes your greatest priority. Every successful harvest feels like a victory, because one poor season could bring hunger to the entire village. Although your adventures across the sea become less frequent, your wisdom continues to grow. People begin asking for your advice, trusting your experience more than your strength. You realize that your greatest achievement is not the treasure you found, but the family and friendships you built throughout your life. But just when life seems peaceful, nature is about to test your family like never before. Just when life feels peaceful, the sky grows darker than ever before. The harshest winter in years is coming. The harvest is smaller than expected, and every family begins worrying about whether the food will last until spring. As the freezing weeks pass, hunting becomes harder and fishing almost impossible beneath the thick ice. Every meal becomes smaller, but your children always eat before you do. Even during the hardest times, the village stands together. Everyone shares what little they have. Then, tragedy strikes. One of your oldest friends never returns from a hunting trip. His loss reminds you that even the strongest Vikings cannot defeat nature forever. When spring finally arrives, your village has survived, but nothing feels quite the same anymore. You realize that true courage is not only found in the battlefield, but also in protecting the people you love every single day. The young warriors now look to you for guidance, just as you once looked to your elders. Without realizing it, you have become the kind of Viking you admired as a child. But no matter how strong or wise you become, time is the one enemy that no Viking can ever defeat. The years pass quietly. Your hair turns gray, your steps become slower, but your wisdom grows with every season. The children you once carried in your arms are now adults with their own families of their own. Every evening they gather around the fire, eager to hear stories of your greatest adventures across the sea. Your greatest treasure is no longer the silver you once brought home. It is the family, friendships, and memories you built throughout your life. One peaceful winter, you close your eyes for the final time, surrounded by the people who love you most. Your family honors your memory, knowing you lived with courage, kindness, and unwavering determination. Although your journey has ended, the Viking Age itself will never truly disappear. More than 1,000 years later, archaeologists continue discovering Viking ships, weapons, jewelry, and entire settlements buried beneath the earth. Museums around the world now preserve the incredible history of the Vikings, allowing millions of people to experience their world.
The courage, determination, and spirit of exploration that defined the Vikings continue inspiring books, movies, games, and people around the world today. Your life may have taken place over 1,000 years ago, but its story still echoes through history. History is filled with incredible lives waiting to be discovered. So, where should we travel next?